If one were to make a list of things we take for granted, somewhere at the top would be public sanitation. In the early days of the city, it was a subject that raised quite a stink, literally. In fact, up until the 1880s, Santa Barbara's sewer system consisted of a series of open pipes along State Street leading to the ocean. The only thing as bad as their effectiveness was the smell. Residences and businesses not on State Street would simply dispose of their waste on site. The smell and fears of disease had many in the community calling for action. Here's an excerpt from a newspaper editorial in 1876.
The war upon these enemies of life and health is an unending conflict, and if not steadily maintained by the champions of cleanliness, the community will surely someday be given over to the hosts of pollution, perhaps to the ravages of pestilence.
The city was spared the ravages of pestilence by sewers constructed soon thereafter, but the problem was merely shifted offshore, with raw, untreated wastewater simply being pumped directly to the ocean, close to shore. The tactic surprisingly was used until the 1950s.
The solution to pollution was dilution, and often it was just sort of a septic tank system that communities had, and they tried to keep the solids in the tank the best they could and discharge the raw effluent into the ocean.
In 1971, there were some federal regulations that were implemented to help protect the water where waste discharges were going. And it required that people go to a better type of treatment. And so anticipating that, what was going to be regulated and the type of plant that we would need, the city built a plant in 1979 that had something called full secondary treatment, which not only settled the solids out, but then actually went into a further type of treatment to remove more things from the wastewater before all the water went out to the ocean.
Wastewater treatment in our city has come a long way from the days of the open pipe sewer and the glorified septic tank. Today, a state-of-the-art facility utilizing 254 miles of sewer mains treats 6 to 7 million gallons of wastewater every day.
The Estero treatment plant receives all that wastewater and runs it through a combination of physical, chemical, and biological processes to remove contaminants from the wastewater to a very large degree. We meet all applicable federal and state standards.
It's a complex, highly regulated operation that's online 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. But with much of the infrastructure dating back to the 1970s, the plant is in need of some work.
A lot of the facilities have reached their useful life, and so we're methodically going through the plant and replacing a lot of the systems. And with that, we're actually able to include some more efficient and better technology to improve the treatment process.
In 2012, staff initiated a system-wide upgrade and replacement program going from process area to process area. Work started at the beginning of the line, otherwise known as the headworks.
And that's where we screen out the heavier objects, the larger objects that we don't want going downstream to potentially damage our, mainly our influent pumps. So it screens out things like tree branches, diapers, paper towels, all of that big stuff you don't want going downstream into your treatment.
Last year, Estero completed a cutting-edge cogeneration project that takes fats, oils, and grease collected from local restaurants and uses them to produce energy.
With the addition of those fats, oil, and grease, the bacteria in the digesters are able to produce more methane gas than they otherwise would, and we're able to boost our biogas production by between 10 and 20%. And with that, we're able to then create more power and better serve our treatment plant to keep our electrical costs down.
The Cogen project not only produces about half the plant's electricity needs, the heat from the process is utilized as well. And by reducing truck trips, the system improves air quality.
Prior to us constructing this facility, Marburg was disposing of those materials or trucking them off-site to other communities far away, such as Bakersfield. So the community is saving in air quality from the standpoint that less materials have to be trucked far away to other communities to dispose of or utilize those wastes.
The next process to be upgraded is tertiary treatment, which produces recycled water.
The old facility was demolished as part of this project, and it's going to be an ultrafiltration, microfiltration facility where we will be treating about 3 million gallons or up to 3 million gallons of wastewater a day to standards that we can use for recycled water.
And what that does is instead of using a potable water for that, we can use something different. Frees up water supplies for, regular potable consumption that people can use. So rather than watering a lawn with a potable water, we can use this recycled water and free that up for someone else to drink.
The tertiary facility is slated to be completed this fall. Looking ahead, the next area of focus will be the secondary process, where microorganisms are used to degrade the waste.
We usually can't meet our turbidity requirements for our recycled water because of our secondary effluent, which feeds the tertiary treatment. So that will be one of the things that I'll be addressing, as well as operational inflexibilities, energy efficiencies, secondary treatment capacity as it pertains to high weather flows.
And as staff strives to increase efficiency and functionality at the plant, they're also working to improve public understanding by offering tours of the facility.
We are trying to educate people about the importance of wastewater treatment and specifically how we perform wastewater treatment here at Estero. They do their dishes, they flush the toilet, they're taking a shower. That water does go somewhere. And in Santa Barbara, it comes here. So, that can be powerful just enough to know that that stuff gets taken care of.
The tours are given to students from preschool to postdoc with curriculum customized to each age group.
We can say it's treated biologically and they get to see, what is that? Well, it's basically fed to the microorganisms. So, that's powerful for them to understand. It isn't just chemicals doing this. This is just, biology, and we just enhance kind of natural processes here at Estero, the things that actually happen in natural water bodies.
The staff at Estero, our champions of cleanliness, don't expect you to understand the biology of wastewater treatment. What they would like you to know is they take this responsibility that is so crucial to our safety and quality of life very seriously.
People don't really know about it, or they don't want to know about it, but we do take awful lot of pride in the people proud of the work they do and know how important it is for the health and well-being of the environment and the community.
I think the important thing for our citizens to know is that we're professionals, we're doing our jobs 7, 24, 365 days a year, and we're serving the community at the highest level to make sure that the community's wastewater is treated properly and either reused or disposed of in an appropriate manner.